Hello, and welcome back to another video. I haven't uploaded for a month, and now I'm back. It's currently 4 in the morning, and I've got a major headache. What's the best way to recover from this headache? Well, that's easy. We're going to read Am I the Asshole post while playing Dress to Impress. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. First post says, Am I the asshole for agreeing with my daughter that it is weird her friend's mom has access to their conversations? Side note before we begin, but this post is long as hell. This is not helping my headache. Does nobody know how to use an AI summarizer to summarize their fucking posts? Jesus Christ. My daughter is 14 years old and has a friend, Chloe. She and Chloe have been friends for a little over a year now. Chloe's mom, Gina, is someone I consider pretty strict. I was aware she'd check Chloe's phone, and I know a lot of parents do this, but I found out a few months ago through my daughter that she'd respond through Chloe's phone to Chloe's friends, including my daughter. It was never anything overkill, just Chloe can't talk right now, she's busy with homework or whatever. I thought this was odd, but didn't say anything to Gina about it, because that's her life and her business. Okay, side note again, but Gina not only uses her daughter's phone to look at every conversation, but she'll also reply for her daughter? Bro, that's fucking weird. Most good parents will look through their kids' electronics to make sure their kid isn't getting groomed online or something. But most parents don't actually fucking reply to people for their kid. What the hell? Okay, continue. I got a call from Gina earlier this afternoon. She was very pissed off and told me that my daughter was rude. I needed to start monitoring what she says, etc. I asked her what exactly happened, and she said my daughter gave her an attitude via text. I was still very confused and asked why they were texting. Gina became exasperated and snapped through Chloe's phone. I told her I'd call her back and asked my daughter specifically what happened. My daughter willingly showed me her texts. She had texted Chloe something. Gina had responded, using Chloe's phone, saying Chloe was busy. My daughter replied, asking when Chloe would be available to talk. Gina told her when she's ready, stop texting her. My daughter replied, You don't have to be so rude. Gina said she wasn't being rude. My daughter said yes, Gina was, and also called her a weirdo for using Chloe's phone. Okay, side note again, but Chloe's friend is right. Gina is a fucking weirdo to be using Chloe's phone and replying to all of Chloe's friends. Gina is treating Chloe like she's a 6-year-old child, meanwhile Chloe is 14 years old. What's going to happen in 4 years when Chloe is an adult? Is Gina still going to be using her phone and texting back her friends? Plus, the question was, why is Gina using Chloe's phone? She never asked what device Gina is using, so to snap back and be like through Chloe's phone just makes Gina look retarded, like girl shut the fuck up and answer why the hell you're using her phone in the first place. Fucking hell. I'm way too cranky for this, y'all. Let's keep reading. I told my daughter next time, just don't engage. I did also say it wasn't kind to call someone a weirdo and not to do it again, but that I also understood her frustration. I didn't punish her. She seemed receptive to the talk, and I left it at that. I called Gina back and told her I'd spoken to my daughter and handled the problem. Gina started ranting that I need to monitor my daughter's phone, and have I seen some of the things she talks about? She started on crushes, rant about teachers, saying there were times my daughter badmouthed me when frustrated. I said that's all fine. I'd rather her have a safe space to vent with her friends. After all, she's a teenager. Gina kept pressing on the issue, and what would be done? I told her nothing. I spoke with my daughter and handled it. Gina said, but she insulted an adult. I told her I handled it, but my daughter also didn't say anything that wasn't true. Gina was acting like a weirdo. Okay, hold on. So Gina wants you to monitor your daughter's phone, and her list of excuses are things totally normal for a teenager with a lot of hormones to do? It is normal for a 14-year-old girl to have crushes and to rant about certain teachers and to get frustrated with their parents and rant about their parents behind the scenes. It'd be more worrisome if the girl didn't have crushes at all, or loved all of her teachers all of the time, or never got frustrated and ranted about you behind the scenes. Does Gina not remember what it was like to be a teenager and have crushes, or have a teacher she dislikes, or to have her parents annoy her sometimes? I swear to God, some people seemingly forget what they were like when they were a teenager and what they did when they were a teenager. Like Gina. Shut the fuck up? Okay, continue. Now, Gina is angry with me My daughter doesn't care that I said all of this. However, my husband thinks that I shouldn't have said it, as it didn't solve anything, and Gina can parent how she wants. I said I never commented on Gina's parenting until she tried to undermine/insult mine. Am I the asshole? Well, for starters, maybe your husband should either shut the fuck up or deal with Gina constantly by himself, because I doubt he'd last more than a month without complaining that Gina is a weirdo and a bitch who's all stuck up and forgot what it's like to be a 14-year-old girl where hormones and emotion sometimes overpower logic and knowledge. Secondly, you're not the asshole, and I agree with your daughter that Gina is a weirdo who might need to be locked in Winnebago or brought down to Alabama. Anyway, post number 2. Am I the asshole for asking my famous friend to take a selfie with a fan? The fact that the title has famous in quotation marks is already scaring me. Okay, can I stop adding side notes and focus? Jesus Christ, I've been editing a 22-minute video for 40 minutes already. This morning I met a childhood friend who is now famous on TikTok. We rarely get together nowadays because she's been busy and I never got to see her as this sort of celebrity in public, so to speak. Anyway, we were having coffee and a girl who was like 10 or 11 recognized her. I think the girl's mother was in the line to get their order, and the girl came all by herself to our table. My friend was texting someone when she approached us, and the girl asked her if she could get a selfie. To my surprise, my friend just kept texting like she didn't acknowledge the girl at all. Ugh, TikTok famous? Worst type of famous there is. I don't know what's worse. TikTok famous or Instagram famous? Let me know which one you think is worse in the comments below. Anyway, the fact this quote-unquote famous person couldn't even look up from their phone and be like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? Or something like that is crazy. Like, I get it. Not all publicly known people want to stop and greet all of their fans publicly, but either get the fuck over it or leave whatever platform you're on. You're the one who chose to become famous and kept making content. If this was someone else like Daz Black and he publicly treated a fan like this, it'd be all over Twitter and shit. He'd have people sending him death threats and boycotting his channel. Okay, continue. Love you, Daz Black. I was a bit shocked, to be honest, but I thought my friend could not have heard her because the girl didn't speak loudly. In fact, she appeared to be shy. So the girl was left standing there, and there was this awkward pause. So I called my friend by her name and said, "This girl wants a picture," and my friend indulged her request, but seemed bothered to do so. I'm not really shocked about this. Let me be honest to all of you people watching right now. You can't really trust any of the content creators you watch. They might seem all nice, happy, and friendly while on camera, but you often don't know what they're like when they turn that camera off and edit their videos to only show the parts they want you to see, even in a stream. As someone who's done streams before on this channel, a lot of my reactions were played up for the audience to make everyone laugh. Like in Cooking Simulator when I dropped the bowl and said something along the lines of, "Can I stop dropping the fucking bowl?" I purposely acted angry when I said that line to make everyone laugh. Every good content creator on the internet is a little bit fake and know how to smile and play things up for the audience. Now, I'm not saying all content creators are these giant assholes who will hurt you behind the scenes. But at the same time, not every content creator is who they claim to be. Anyway, let's continue reading. After the girl left, my friend turned to me and said something like, "Don't you ever put me on the spot like this again. If I wanted to take a selfie, I would have answered her myself." I couldn't believe she was saying that. Then she went on to say how she didn't even have her makeup done and didn't want to be bothered. Girl, nobody gives a shit that you didn't have her makeup done. The girl was a child who just wanted a picture with one of her favorite content creators. It's cute and sweet, and you were in a coffee shop. If that picture ends up online, nobody's going to care that you didn't have makeup on to get a coffee. Nobody is probably even going to comment about your natural face or even notice, because they'll just find it to be a cute picture of you and this excited little girl who was happy to meet you. Okay, continue because there's more to this post, sadly. I told her she could have answered the girl, even if to say she couldn't take a picture right now. How could she just ignore her? Then my friend said, "You don't understand," and that was the end of it. Am I the asshole here? I'm sorry, what? Your friend makes no fucking sense in this argument, and you brought up a very good point. Your friend could have just said no to the picture and then asked the girl if she wanted something signed instead. That's basic common sense. There's probably loads of famous people who didn't want to take a picture when a fan asked, so they signed something for the fan instead of getting a picture taken. Your friend is just an asshole who's in the wrong 100% and doesn't want to admit that she's in the wrong, because then she'd have to admit that she acted like an asshole to an excited child who just wanted a picture taken. Post number 3 says, "Am I the asshole for publicly telling my ex-coworker that I don't like them?" Just the title alone tells me that this is going to be a long story, and I'm all here for it. Give me the tea, as I'm thirsty and running out of my cherry cola bottle. Yes, I'm drinking soda at 5 in the morning. Don't judge me, I'm a fat fucker. Okay, continue. I ran into an ex-coworker Sarah at a bar while I was out with friends celebrating my birthday. We worked together for 2 years at a fast food restaurant. I left this job in January 2025. She was a shift leader, and I've never liked her. I didn't like her management style or her personality. She came up to me at the bar, and we had a 10-ish minute conversation. I thought it was cordial and polite. She was mostly asking me questions about my new job. She asked if I would recommend her for a job at my new company. I got a job at a call center, nothing glamorous. I told her that I wasn't comfortable with that. She brushed it off with a bad joke. I ended the conversation and walked to the table my friends were at, and Sarah follows me. Sarah already sounds like a creepy stalker. First, she wants you to write her a job recommendation at your current company, and then you say you're not comfortable and end the conversation only for her to follow you back to your table. Sarah, take the hint. No means no. Go get a life, weirdo. Okay, continue. I didn't notice until I got to the table, and she sat down next to me. My friends introduced themselves, and I, without thinking, said something along the lines of, "I don't like you. Can you please leave?" I have autism, and I could tell that was not the correct thing to say. Everyone seemed uncomfortable, and Sarah was visibly shocked and upset. My friends were shocked and confused. They assumed that Sarah was a friend or someone I invited to the table. They had zero context of who Sarah is. Sarah made a scene and told me that I was rude, a bitch, and a bunch of other things. She said that I embarrassed her. She embarrassed herself by following me to my table uninvited. And yes, she knew it was my birthday. I do feel bad and know that I could have formulated a polite response. But she's a former co-worker and an unpleasant one. I'm sorry, but this is so fucking funny. The way you just bluntly said to her, "I don't like you. Please leave." That took me out. Yo, if you're watching this, please comment and be my friend, because that was legendary. How's Sarah gonna say that you embarrassed her when she's the one who followed you back to the table? It's not like you told her to follow you and meet your friends. She just randomly followed you and sat down at the table unannounced and uninvited like she's one of the girls. Sarah, nobody likes you. Fucking weird wanker. Okay, continue. I have many stories about her, but the worst examples is that she made jokes about my autism and deafness multiple times. She is fake nice, and her friendship style is bullying people. She has a really icky vibe. I don't know what Sarah wanted from me. I wasn't going to hang out with her, especially not on my birthday. So am I the asshole for telling her bluntly that I don't like her? Before I answer this question, the original poster has edited the post, and the edit says, "I forgot to mention how my friends reacted after Sarah left. They were really upset that she called me a bitch and collectively told her to leave. Sarah left quickly, and I told them who she was. They've heard stories about Sarah for years. None of my friends thought I was an asshole. All of them were comforting and validating. We ended up leaving the bar within the hour because I was overstimulated and felt so uncomfortable being at the bar. We went back to my apartment and hung out for a bit there. The reason I thought I was an asshole is because I've been trying to be better about social situations. My friends are used to how I communicate and are biased. When I was reflecting on the situation, I was thinking of better ways to tell Sarah to leave that wouldn't have resulted in a scene or being berated. Okay, opinion time. In my opinion, you are not the asshole. Some people just don't get the hint and need to be told bluntly, and she appears to be one of them. You told her you didn't feel comfortable with giving her a recommendation at your company, so she brushes it off as a joke. You ended the conversation, so she follows you to your table unannounced and uninvited. What the hell did she expect you to do when, in my opinion, it was already kind of obvious that you don't like her and don't want to be around her, because you try to get away and she just randomly fucking follows you like she's an annoying cat who follows their owners around the house and doesn't get the hint to go the fuck away. You don't owe anyone niceness, You don't have to sugarcoat shit when she's the one that randomly followed you like a stalker and sat down next to you uninvited. Nobody wanted her at that table, and nobody wants her in general. Just saying, seems like she's all sad that nobody fucking wants her ass, because she's a pick-me bitch who fakes being nice to everyone. Nobody is picking you, Sarah. Go back to the basement and cry about it some more. Next post. Taking care of wife, cooking and paying for her, but not getting any in return. Your thoughts? Am I the asshole for being disappointed? Before I continue reading, I already peeked at the comments without reading the post, and several people are saying that the poster is the asshole. Since I'm the king of having the unpopular opinion, let's see if I have the unpopular opinion or if I need a new title. My wife had foot surgery 2 weeks ago. She can walk, and yes, she can have sex. She is not in any distress. I paid for airfare and lodging to Cancun for next week. Am I the asshole for expecting her to initiate sex and be grateful that I did that for her while she milks the disability? I'm stuck taking her to her appointments and cooking for her. Should I see this as a red flag? Should I leave? Jesus fucking Christ. I'm glad to announce that I need a new title. I have the popular opinion of, you are indeed the asshole. Someone get me in contact with this man's parents. She doesn't owe you sex because you're cooking for her and paying for shit and bringing her to her doctor appointments. That's called being a good husband and taking care of your wife while she needs some help because she's 2 weeks post-operation from a surgery. When my dad was diagnosed with kidney cancer and the only option was to remove his kidney entirely to save his life, I was the only one that could help him. If we ordered groceries, I had to carry them inside of the house. On trash days, I had to lift up the trash and take it outside and push the bin to the road while having heart valve disease, mind you. Every day to collect the mail, I had to walk with him while bringing my phone so if he fell over or something, I could call for help. For his appointments, we had to contact someone to drive him home and then help him up and down the stairs. And we had to help him for the first 4 weeks, and we never expected anything in return. We just wanted him to survive and rest up so he could recover physically. As a husband, shouldn't you want the same thing for your wife, even if it means taking up responsibilities you typically wouldn't take up? Because everything I had to do were chores that I've never done before. Typically, my dad did all of those for us. And now that he's fully recovered, he does it again. Anyway, next story. Okay, this next post is like a year old, but it has to do with the last story we just read, because the person who wrote the last story actually commented on this story and called the poster an asshole, while the comments are also calling the poster an asshole. I originally thought the last story was potentially a troll because the dude's views seem so fucking insane, but it is possible that he is not trolling as he's been in this subreddit for at least a year and has a genuine popular opinion on this post we're about to read. Let me stop rambling and actually fucking read the post now. Also update, I took 4 aspirin in total and my headache has seemingly gone away for now. It'll probably be back soon, but oh well. Am I the asshole for kicking out my friend for staring at my mom sunbathing? For additional context before I continue reading. At the time, the poster was 20 years old, while his friend was 23 years old and also a male, and his mother was 41 years old. Well, this sounds interesting so far. Why would a 23-year-old stare at a 41-year-old who is sunbathing? Let's see why. It's not a long story, but I'm home in the US at my parents' for the winter break, and since I'm an exchange student, I'm naturally staying at my parents'. I haven't seen my friends and family in a while, so I invited my good friend to play some video games and hang out at the house. We had the house for ourselves until my mom came home from work at around 4 p.m. The weather here in Miami is good and has started getting warmer as the spring approaches. My mom likes tanning without her top on in our backyard, which she did today. Now, the thing is that you can directly see to the backyard that's 30 feet away from the living room. Okay, a couple of questions are appearing for me already. Number 1, did you tell your mother through text or call that your friend was coming over and will likely already be there by the time she comes home? Because it is your parents' house, so I feel like it's only fair if you tell your mom to expect your friend to be in the living room with you when she gets home. Number 2, how does she lay while she's sunbathing topless in her backyard? I'm sorry, but it seems a little bit weird if she's laying in the backyard and sunbathing on her back with her tits exposed to the air randomly. It's where no matter how you phrase it, but shut up, craze. Just go back to reading. So when my mom started tanning, my friend saw her, and looked at her for like 5 seconds, which is a long time. I told him that he's being disrespectful and that he can't just be looking at my own mother's body like that, and told him to leave. Now, he sent me a text saying that he was just surprised that she didn't wear a top and was not being creepy or weird about it. I feel like a 5 seconds look is more than just being surprised, but I've started feeling bad since I'm not sure if he is telling the truth, and I was just being super harsh. I'm gonna be honest when I say that I don't know if you're the asshole in this one. There's details that are missing in my opinion. Like, did your mom know that your friend was gonna be over and seeing her like this? Since I can't decide if you're the asshole, I'm gonna say no comment and let you, the lovely viewers, decide. Is he the asshole in this scenario? Because I'm seriously torn. On one side, if I went over to my friend's house to play video games, looked over and saw their topless mom laying in the backyard and sunbathing, I'd probably pause and look too, because what the fuck is she doing? But on the other hand, I can understand that it's weird to look over and see your friend staring at your topless mom. With that, I'm done reading Reddit posts. I'm going to end this video soon, but before I do, I just want to say, check the description of this video. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Bluesky, subscribe to my other YouTube channel, and join my Becky Boop Haters Discord server if you're someone who's in the LOLCO universe and for some reason watching this video, or if you're just an adult who wants a chill server, because there's other sections not related to the LOLCO universe that you can enjoy. It's 6 in the morning, I've been editing this video for way too long, and my headache is back while throbbing. For aspirins didn't do the trick. Soda didn't do the trick. Food didn't do the trick. Nicotine didn't do the trick. Sleeping didn't do the trick. My headache is fucking stubborn and not responding to any of the methods I've tried. I'm losing my mind, and I'm gonna go cry now. Goodbye. I'll see you again whenever I decide to upload. Until then, follow my socials to have more frequent updates.